Is Hytale better than Minecraft? Obviously, Hytale has only been out for just over a day. It is yet to be seen what it can accomplish, but as it stands right now, will this game kill Minecraft? I want to talk about just a few things, pros, cons, and overall trajectory for both games. For pros, I actually think there's a lot more here to be said than what people are giving credit to Hytale. Number one, the combat in this game is already leagues above what Minecraft has been doing for over a decade. Obviously, the systems here, you have so many more options available than just hack and slash. You have a push mechanic, you have good movement options, you have a charge ability, you have an alt. Just as a baseline, you're looking at way more options for Hytale than you ever have for Minecraft. I think the biggest innovation Minecraft has done has been axes to get rid of shields and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, very one note on Minecraft versus there is a lot more room for an improvement, and it seems that Hytale wants to have a much more robust combat system. So I think for a big pro, like the combat is already so much better in Minecraft, and I do think it'll get better. The movement available is incredible, and I think there are actually a lot more quirks to the system than people may realize at this moment in time. It's still very fresh, so people are still sinking their teeth, but I'm willing to bet in the next about week and a half, we're going to see a lot of new tech and innovation coming from the community with combat. And then when you think about just how much we're working with as a baseline, like the PvP implications are pretty extreme in my opinion. You look at the PvP community in Minecraft and it is massive. There are so many people who dedicate lots and lots of time to be good at that sort of thing, and Hytale is going to take that a step above. You're going to have so many more options from a actual combat standpoint versus right now a lot of the mechs for PvP in Minecraft come from building. But what happens when you add movement? What happens when you add other options, right? Or the best builders reign supreme in PvP right now for Minecraft. Like, you have other people who are good at other things like combat and movement and just overall game sense versus needing to be an incredible builder to be a contender. So I think just from a combat standpoint, I've already had so much more fun fighting things than I ever did in Minecraft. It's very one note in Minecraft versus in Hytale. The combat is already really good. I'm excited to see what else they do. I think there should be like an ability system, and I'm assuming they're going to be adding that. So from that perspective, I think it's a huge pro for Hytale, and I'm excited to see what they come up with. Another big pro, in my opinion, is building, actually. Building is insane in this game. The sheer amount of options available in a vanilla experience is far beyond what Minecraft has available for people who are big into building. Just from day one, we have so many more things, so many more blocks, so many more just options. Features and blocks that fans have wanted for years are just available. Day one, there will be insane builds coming out of this game, and anyone who enjoys the creativity side of Minecraft should be swapping over in a heartbeat. There's much more here for you than Minecraft will ever have. I guarantee it. Just from a vanilla perspective, if you are somebody who likes to build, this game has more options. This game is more creative. This game is catered to you, even from a creative perspective. If you look at it from creative to survival, whether you do either or, both of them are going to be a better building experience than Minecraft is right now as it stands. For those of you who don't know, the creative experience in Hytale is insane. You have so many more tools available to you. It's not just here are all the blocks, go nuts. There are tools, there are options, there are so much more customization, and there's a lot more capability. I think we're going to be seeing incredible full-scale builds so much more frequent than we do in Minecraft because of how accessible it is. You have to download so many mods to achieve what Hytale is doing day one from a vanilla experience. The building is crazy, and if you are a builder, if that is what you do, you should be swapping over. Hytale already has that area, I think, very well fleshed out, and it's only going to get better from here. I think another huge pro to Hytale is the exploration. Exploring is so much more enjoyable in this game. You are actually incentivized by the design choices, where Minecraft feels like it fights against the player. A map alone is such a great addition. And I know that Minecraft has maps, but they're very tedious. You have to fight with them. They're unnecessarily difficult. They're They're not very cheap either. It's very expensive to have a bunch of maps and to kind of map out. The cartography aspect can be cool to kind of like physically map out all that stuff, but it's just not, from a quality of life perspective, it's very poorly done, and the map doesn't really serve much more than just how do I get back home. But from Hytale, like, I can't explain how many times I changed my plans because I saw some vague landmark on the map, and it just continued to snowball over and over. I would go to check out one landmark, and then I'd see another and go check that out. And it led to these massive expeditions where, I originally just went out for like a basic resource, like a light hide or something. And then I'm gone for hours getting so many new resources, so many new things that I'm exploring. And it's strictly because of, just this map. This map is a huge benefit to exploration, and the movement available also makes exploring way more fun. The high jump that you get, the climb mechanic, exploration is heavily incentivized just by design, where everywhere you turn, I feel like Minecraft really hurts the player in terms of exploration. I think right now that's one of the best things about the game. I'm that kind of player, though. I like to explore. I like to go caving. I like to do all these things, and Hytale has so much better of an experience there than a Minecraft does for me. Even the sub-biomes alone. I remember my first game, I immediately saw these sub-biomes in the first area, and I was intrigued. It was like the first thing that I went to do, because I was like, oh, there's different trees there, and I like to build, so I wanted to, like, exploring is just so much better in this game, and a lot of it is part of that map, but then the movement also makes it super fun. And frankly, the death penalty is very smart. I think it is probably one of the best death penalties I've ever seen in a game like this. For those of you who don't know, the death penalty is basically keep inventory on, but you have a 10% durability loss and a 10% quantity loss. So if you have 10 of this ore, you lose 1 ore. Some people may hear that and think that that's not enough, that if you wanted to get back home and you're really far away, wouldn't you just kill yourself? I don't know about you. I make that trek every single time. I am stingy. I don't want to lose any of my resources, my hard-fought resources. I make that trek back every single time. But if I do end up dying, which has happened, like if I die inadvertently, like, I'm not too upset. I don't immediately want to put down the game because the retrieval of all my stuff is so difficult. It is not too punishing where Minecraft, you lose everything. That is very difficult to overcome, especially in the early to mid game. Late game, it can be very bad if you lose like your netherite gear, like you fall into lava or something or whatever, which has happened to me actually, and I just didn't want to play anymore. But in Hytale, if you fall in lava and die, like, your stuff that you did drop does burn, but it's only 10%. You don't want to put down the game. You want to keep going. But from my experience, not once did I just kill myself because I wanted to go back home. And same thing, I was playing with my buddy. He didn't want to do that either. I think the death penalty is honestly probably one of the best design choices in Hytale as it stands. I think it's very well done. I think they could up it if they are going to change it at all. I think they could change that quantity loss to maybe 25%. I think the durability loss is perfect. I wouldn't mess with that just because durability is pretty punishing in this game. But from a quantity perspective, I could see that being raised. But other than that, I think the death penalty is probably the best feature for exploration and doing this. It is the perfect deterrent. And it does exactly what it needs to do, and it's not too punishing. Very great design, which makes exploration all that more enjoyable, all that more accessible for every player. Now, there are cons, things that Minecraft has over Hytale from a day one vanilla experience. For starters, there is no redstone equivalent here. For people who love automation and making intricate redstone contraptions, I suspect you'll be a ride or die MC player for a long time. Minecraft has dumped most of its resources over the years into that side of the community. And for me personally, I'm not that player. At most, I've made like small cow farms. But if you are that player, like, as far as I've been able to tell, there is nothing. There is not a single thing that kind of scratches that itch for you. So for specifically these players, I actually think that you will not enjoy Hytale from a long-term experience perspective. I think you would actually be much better off staying in Minecraft, and I don't think that Hytale will compete in this realm for a long time, just because it is a very well fleshed out mechanic inside of Minecraft. But if you are like me, I'm mostly an exploration or builder. Like, those are my two biggest things that I like to do. If you're that kind of player, this doesn't really affect you too much, but it is, in my opinion, the most glaring difference between the two games. If you take Hytale in Minecraft and go feature for feature, there is pretty much everything in Hytale's favor except for this thing. There is no redstone equivalent. So going in, if you are that player, just understand that automation and farms don't really exist right now, as far as I'm aware. Number two, mods. The biggest argument I've seen for Minecraft is that Hytale is just modded Minecraft, and that's true. This experience exists out there and is more fleshed out in a game that people are more familiar with. If you want just an RPG experience in like this kind of universe, in this kind of media, in this medium, you can find that very easily within the modded community of Minecraft. You don't need this game if that's all you're after. I would say, other than from an accessibility or convenience perspective, if you're somebody who doesn't like to get mods or mess with them or download extra software for it, if you're that kind of person, then Hytale might be kind of what you're after, might be a good experience. If you only like to experience vanilla, which I'm kind of like that. So from that perspective, like, this doesn't really matter. But if you do like mods, if you do really enjoy that side of Minecraft, you may want to wait a little bit until mods are more fleshed out in Hytale. There were mods on release, and it's been very clearly communicated from the creators that they want mods as part of their development. But as it stands right now, this is a brand new game. We're competing with 10 years of mods plus. Very high quality, very fleshed out. Probably won't see that level for quite some time now, as Hytale is just so new, and we'll receive, I'm assuming, a lot of updates in the coming months and such. And then number three, I actually think that the monster variety is a little bit better in Minecraft, which might come to a surprise to you guys because there's not that much in Minecraft, but entities like creepers and endermen are wholly unique to the game. They add very interesting complications to everyday gameplay, whereas the monster variety in Hytale is pretty one note as it stands. I think they have the right idea, but I'd love to see more variety between biomes and like regions and such. But yeah, right now it's pretty much the same as Minecraft, minus the entities like creepers and endermen. And I haven't beaten the game quite yet, but I don't believe that there are any bosses in Hytale, where Minecraft actually has a couple. I would love to see bosses. I think there should be, and I'd be really surprised if there aren't. But right now, there isn't an Ender Dragon-esque fight or even like mini bosses or anything like that. So, like the Wither. So, from that perspective, Minecraft definitely has kind of the upper hand. But I'm certain in the coming months we'll see more of that from Hytale. And then lastly, trajectory of each game. Now, it's no secret that with Hytale being in early access, we are prone to seeing many more updates and alterations to the core gameplay than we do Minecraft. We've heard that the game is very early build and that they have a lot of things they can do to improve this game, and that the highest priority was just to get it out to the community. So from that perspective, obviously we're going to be seeing a higher quality trajectory from Hytale, especially during this very new release age and era where it's in early access. They're actively working on getting it to full release. Not only that, but Minecraft also hasn't been known to be on top of new updates and additions to the game. The community for years has been very vocal about how frustrating it can be to be left with a virtually identical experience for years at a time. You're just getting minor and infrequent updates in between. They never really change up the core gameplay too much, where I think Hytale will be changing that core gameplay frequently and very often if I had to guess, probably for the next year and some change. With that being said, though, if Hytale keeps its promise to the player base, I'm willing to bet that Minecraft will see quite a few overhauls in the coming years. So to an extent, it does come down to Hytale and how strong it'll be in competition. The biggest point of concern, in my opinion, for the trajectory of each game is, will Hytale keep updating? We have heard from Simon himself that he has personally committed 10 years, and from pre-orders alone, they have secured funding for the next 2 years of development. Again, the question is whether or not they keep that commitment of both 10 and 2 years, but I assure you that if the community continues to grow and be involved in this game, that Hytale will fully realize itself into the game that always sounded too good to be true. Overall, I think this is an amazing game. From a vanilla experience, I've had more fun and excitement to play than I have had with Minecraft for a long time. I'm excited to see what building has to offer. I'm excited to see what progression looks like in the late game. Right now, I'm only in like the adamantite area, so I guess the late game adjacent, but I haven't quite hit mithril yet. And then I am really excited to see what the developers of Hytale bring to us. Just over the years, I've seen so many great ideas, and this launch actually gives me so much faith in their ability to make the right decisions and calls. I firmly believe that the future is bright and that this game is worth your time and energy moving forward. And for that reason, like, I have a link to Hytale down below. I'm not like sponsored or anything, but if you want to purchase the game, I do think that there are a lot of people who would enjoy this game, and chances are you are one of those people. So if you'd like to get Hytale, there is a link down below in the comments. And if you want to follow along in the journey that is Hytale, please consider subscribing, and let me know what you think actually the best feature Hytale could add into early access, because there are definitely some holes, and I'm really interested in seeing what the community thinks and seeing if anyone has any good ideas on what they should add. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.